Good day everyone, and welcome back to Manga Goblin. I'm Trix, of course, and today we're going to talk about Machigatta Ko wo Mahou Shoujo ni shite shimatta. Thank you, Mustard, for your input. It's also known as Holy Shit Magical Girl or Magical Girl Holy Shit. Mistaken girl attempts to become a magical girl, or mistaken child attempts to become a magical girl. Oops, I messed up and made the wrong person into a magical girl. It's also known as Machimo in German. This is, of course, by Souryuu since 2016. It's serialized in Kurage bunch by the publishing company Shinchousha. It's licensed in English by 7 Seas. They have 6 of the 10 volumes in English so far. Alright, so what's this manga about? Well, I can describe it in a few, buzzwords, basically. Gyaru delinquent, violent person becomes a magical girl. That's basically the entire plot. There's some... Now, you won't read Souryuu's stories for the plot, basically, because he really doesn't know how to spin a story well, and while there is a lot of laughs in Magical Girl Holy Shit or Holy Shit Magical Girl, or whatever you want to call it, it is rather a simple story of a violent delinquent becomes a magical girl, has various threats. The good girl, who should have become a magical girl, becomes the dark magical girl, and they have a sort of series of adventures. There are a few other characters involved, such as the guy that hangs around her, who's got a poofy bouffant hairstyle, who's very reminiscent of Dandy from Space Dandy, and there's a couple of other characters, but they really aren't important. This is probably what happens when you want to make a magical girl story and you just want to make it as far from the cute, wholesome stories of Sailor Moon, basically. And while there's not a lot of gore or whatever in it, there is a lot of swearing and violence. It is all magical-based violence, though, so people get blown up, beaten up, and then a few panels later they're fine. But apart from that, it's good, but it's nothing special. If you've seen it, for example, there is another magical girl story called Spec Ops Magical Girl Asuka, which is rather more adult than this. Now, this is adult for a different reason than that is. That is because of the story. This is because of the artwork. And I want to add one final thing about Souryuu. Souryuu is rather abrasive when it comes to his fans, or their fans. They've been known to go on massive Twitter arguments. Now, they're a really good artist, so they aren't going to get dropped like some other artists would, but they do have a tendency to go overboard on their Twitter and social media interactions. Saying that, the main character, Gyaru Magical, it says she's cute, and there's no mistaking that she is cute, but she's a violent, smoking, drinking, vicious character that relies less on magic and more on punching her opponents. It is basically a delinquent becomes a magical girl. That's the whole plot. That's all you need. If you're familiar with Souryuu's other work, such as I taught in a Black Gyaru high school, you'll be very familiar with what he does, and he only has basically one way of telling stories. This is another one. Now, I'm a fan of Souryuu's artwork, but I can distance that from the abrasive personality that he is on social media. And I think that if you can do that, you'll have a good time. If you can't do that, you probably won't because of his abrasive nature, or their abrasive nature. Saying all that, it is worth reading if you want to see a new spin on magical girl stories, but if you want something better written, go for Spec Ops Magical Girl Asuka, not this. Again, I'm not going to be using my scoring system very much anymore, simply because, well, I'm biased towards certain concepts, and it would be unfair of me now. I would recommend, as I said, if you like your delinquent stories, if you like your Gyaru stories, sure, check it out. This is for you. If you want a new spin on Magical Girl, maybe, but check out Spec Ops Asuka first. That's it, basically. That's the review. I like it. Read it if you want. Don't read it if you don't want. Thanks all for your time. Bye bye.